Hi everybody, my name is Frank. I'm going to be your chef today. I wanted to let everybody know today's cooking class is brought to you by NASA because kitchen craft cookware is out of this world. Also, I want to thank everybody who's a veteran and a first responder. We want to thank you for all that you do from the bottom of our hearts. All right, on to our class. So I wanted to check and make sure this is a class we're going to talk briefly about waterless cookware and water-free cooking. All right, and then let's get started, and we're gonna basically do what we call a vegetable medley today, and kind of give you comparisons of the water-free cooking compared to the way our mom would cook it, you know, boiling them in a pot, things of that nature. Also going to show you how our cookware is a step above with cooking an egg. All right, so let's get started. All right. So first off, we're gonna take some of our carrots. These are already pre-cleaned and ready for us to put together for our dish. All right. All right. So one of the things we're gonna do is we're not gonna peel the carrots. We're gonna actually leave the skin on them, but we're gonna cut these up and kind of put them together in our pot real quick. All right. As I cut these up, does anybody know what nutrient has been found in carrots that is beneficial for us? That nutrient is called beta carotene. Beta carotene is actually something that is known to help fight and prevent cancer. So it's very important for our health. As you can see, I'm going to be cutting these by hand. We do normally have our kitchen cutter. I do not have one available as of right now, so we're doing it this way, just to show you that it is possible in your kitchen to use what you have already on hand, along with our cookware. Sit here and cut up some more of these carrots. All right. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to compare, as I said a few minutes ago, we're going to be comparing our waterless cooked carrots and vegetables with some boiled carrots. So I'm going to take these and set these in our other pan up here as a comparative cooking. Sorry that we're working with such minimal space. I do travel in an RV full time, so our dynamic is a little bit different, but at the same time, same, because we eat food. And we like to cook food, so we want to make sure that when we cook our food, it's healthy and nutritious and gives us all those beneficial things. All right, we're almost done with our carrots. All right. I'm going to put the lid up there. So now we have our carrots in the bottom of our pan. We're going to take some broccoli. We're going to put that over on the side over here. We are going to then cut up some zucchini. Does everybody realize that broccoli and zucchini are both known to help prevent breast and colon cancer in women? Which is very important when you're talking about health and well-being. There we go for that piece. All right. Okay. Now we'll cut up some of our yellow squash. Very good. All right. One of the other things that we do like to have on hand once in a while, but unfortunately we don't have any available to us today, is corn. It also makes a good choice for this melody of vegetables. So for those of you who have picky eaters at home, there is one of the things that you can add to your dish of your vegetable medley is something red and yellow. And what this does is it helps to make us hungry. So if you have picky young little children that are very picky and finicky eaters, you can add those two colors, and it helps them eat. Because that's, if anybody didn't realize this, that's where all your fast food companies use those colors in their signs. Because every time the kids see them, what happens? Mommy, Daddy, I'm hungry. So as you can see, I'm going to splash some a little bit of water over the top of these vegetables. This is going to just, kind of give them a good last second rinse. We're going to kind of just take that and we're going to drain all this off. And then we're going to set that like that. We're going to take our lid and set that right there. As you can see, I'm pulling my my burner out. I'm going to take this over here. We're going to set it onto our induction stove. We're going to turn this on. So we're going to keep an eye on this as we're cooking. What we're looking for is our water vapor to start coming out the lid. And then once that happens, we can then take this and take it off the burner. All right. So we are limited by only having one burner in my kitchen here. So what we're going to do is once it starts to show the vapor, we're going to turn this off, and then we're going to turn over to the carrots and let them start. Okay. All right. So one of the ways that our parents used to cook our veggies when we were little? At least my mom did. Take them, fill up the. Sorry, Alexa wanted to join in the conversation. So what? Hold on 1 second. You can do this by refilling your drink. Okay, back from disconnecting Alexa. I apologize for the interruption. Okay, so basically when we used to cook, my parents would cook vegetables. They would take the vegetables, chop them up, put them in a big pot of water, and then turn the stove on high, let it boil, cook them there for about 20 minutes, and you're talking about stab them, jab them, and wait till they're dead. My mom would pop the lid to see if there was any life left in it before, realizing, hey, we need to let it cook a little bit longer. She would drain it off and put it into a jar, and then you'd realize that all the nutrients that were in there just went down the drain. Okay. Let's see here. We're going to take a look at our... It's just starting to get some vapor in there. We're not going to try and pop our lid off. We're going to let this stay seated. As you can see, she's almost ready. All right. So one of the things that we can do when the vapor starts coming around is we can take the lid and spin it. As you can see, it's not quite ready yet. You need to go to get a little bit hotter. But how this is working on the inside there, it's cooking the vegetables with the moisture that's trapped, that's inside the vegetable already. So it's going to be cooking. This pan works with the heat from the bottom and from the top, and then in from the sides. And then it traps that vapor in there and continues to cook and holds that heat as it goes. Almost ready. Want to get it just a little bit higher. I want to see some vapors actually escaping from our pan. So one of the things that's different about our cookware compared to others is that Most pans that you'll see that are out there in the industry and in kitchens and whatnot, they're all single ply. So I mean, we have multiple layers in our cookware. Our American manufacturing company actually took several layers, bonded them together to a 0.110 thermal core, thickness of a thermal core, which is the thickest cookware on the market today. Just another second or two as we're letting that cook. All right. So one of the other things I can tell you is waterless cooking is not something that's relatively new. It's been around for quite a while. Our company's been around since 1906. We are from West Bend, Wisconsin. Okay, all right. So we're going to take this off, and we're going to turn it off, and we're going to take this and set it over here. And we're going to let that sit and cook. So it's going to cook for about another 10 minutes or so, and then during that time we're going to start our other demonstration of the boiling of the vegetables. So we're going to take that and set this over here. Put that together, and we're going to take some water and pour this in here with these carrots. And now we're not going to drain these carrots, but we're going to definitely put that on here. Being that it's an induction stove, we can put it on boil. So we're going to turn that on and let it boil for a minute. We're going to take this other pot and set this over here. All right. So an oven is a waterless cooker too, so it cooks from the bottom up, it cooks from the top down, and it cooks from the sides in. And then hold on one moment. Sorry about that. We had a technical difficulty. The power breaker popped because we're running our heater because the weather's cold outside today. But everything's good now. We have the stove back on, and it's heating those vegetables up beautifully. Okay, I'm getting back to our story here and our cooking of our different things. So we just talked about the oven and how that works as a waterless cooking environment. So we're not actually going to be able to pass this cookware around because of course we're videotaping, but you guys can see the actual, let me pick this pan up, you can actually take a look at that quality right through the camera. Look at how shiny that is. We're so proud of our cookware. We even put our stamp on the side, so if it ever gets lost, we know who made it. All right. So one of the things that when we're cooking with vegetables with water-free cooking is medium to low. It's all you need to know. So once you get that pan up to heat, you can let those vapors go ahead and seal that thing closed, and let the cookware do what it's intended to do. All right. So as we continue going on, we're boiling these carrots now. This is taking just a few seconds longer than. Oh nope! Actually, they're boiling right now. So we're gonna let those boil for another minute. In the meantime. So, we're going to take a break from right here just for a second. Okay, and we're back. So I do apologize. I'm still kind of new at this, but hey, we're excited. And it kind of shows as we get through this. All right, so everybody knows that takes pride in their home, and the most expensive room in the home to furnish is what room? Does anybody know? I don't know about your house, but I spend more money in my kitchen than any other room. Okay, why? Because it has to do with food, and I love food because I eat at least 3 times a day. Okay, all right. So when we're dealing with cookware and things of that nature, we want to make sure we have the best appliances, we have the best range, we have the $3,000 range, we have the $5,000 Sub-Zero refrigerators, $30,000 set of kitchen cabinets. Okay, all right. So this one is boiling, and we're gonna let that and shut it off. I'm gonna set that right over here. Okay, all right, we got that done. So then we have somewhere in the lower part of our kitchen, we have what a cookware that doesn't match the rest of our house or the rest of the kitchen. So you have the cabinet, the food that touches your. Okay, like I said, I'm new. Give me a second. I'll get my wits about me. So basically, what it comes down to is the most important part of what creates and makes our food is not where we spend the most of our money. Where we're spending most of our money in is everything else around it. So when we're dealing with other things such as this, like this here, this was my dad's favorite egg pan. Okay, this is a Teflon pan. You know, after about a year, it becomes Teflof. So the average person replaces one of these pans at least once a year. After about 25 years, you spend almost $700 on this type of cookware just for one pan. And the problem with that is it fills up the landfill and just makes it worse for the environment. Okay, then what we're going to teach you today is we're going to show you this is a big 7-inch skillet. This is our saute pan. It does look a little bit bigger, but this is 7 inches. All right, we're going to set that on here. And then, so when we're cooking with our saute pan, you can use 2 different kinds of oil. You can use olive oil, or you can use coconut oil. The best to use is extra virgin olive oil. Just know that if you do use coconut oil, the spray can is the best to use because it doesn't leave as much of a flavor behind of the coconut. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pan. We're going to heat this up. And as this is heating up, we're going to get everything else ready. One of the other things that you can do is you can also use butter and instead of margarine, because butter is awesome and it's made by God, and God only knows what's in margarine. All right. Okay. So as we're getting this pan heated up, does anybody know what's underneath those Teflon coated pans? So you got the Teflon coating. Yeah, those are made of aluminum. Does anybody know of any sicknesses or diseases that are linked to aluminum? Right. So some people say it's Alzheimer's. Now I'm no doctor, but what I will say is that it is against the law to give your dog food out of aluminum pan or a dish. All right, so we got our pan hot, nice and warm. I'm gonna take some oil and just lightly spray it. All right, crack this egg on here real quick. And immediately it already starts cooking. I forgot to grab a spatula, so let me grab that real quick. So while that's cooking, So one of the other things about aluminum cookware is once when you cook things that are very acidic in it, it becomes shiny. Otherwise, it's not shiny. Does anybody know why that is? It's because the aluminum is actually being leached off the pan and into the food. Okay, so we're here cooking our egg. So we did shock the pan, or we put the pan up to heat. We got that pan up to regular heat, and then this cookware, because once it gets up to heat, you can then turn it down. So then we're gonna let this egg finish cooking out, and then let's see here where we're at. So then we're also gonna talk about one of Mom's favorite ways to cook was with cast iron. So we have a cast iron pan here. Now I can tell you that I was a firm believer, and I loved cooking with cast iron. Just the way the heat would dissipate. What didn't go over well was how sanitary it was. So it cooks great, but it's not real sanitary. Mom would buy a new cast iron pan, or even when I would buy a new cast iron pan, I would watch whoever in my household was doing dishes and make sure that I was the one that cleaned it, to make sure that they didn't put soap on it and strip all those seasoning off of it, and then I would have to go back through and season it again. And then the other problem with cast iron pans is how like when Mom would cook her famous fried chicken, it would taste like Mom's favorite catfish. We have sanitary stainless steel pots and pans that will look the same as they do today, as they will generations to come. All right, so we have our egg. We have that egg cooking in here. As you can see, this egg does not stick at all. See how that just slides around? See that? So then we're going to take this and we're going to flip it over real quick. See how beautiful that egg came out? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I'm just trying to slide right out of the pan. I'm going to set this right over here. Shut that off and let it finish. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to move on back over to the boiled carrots. I wanted to show you this. This is kind of scary and amazing all at the same time. So everybody knows. Move this back in the view so you can see. I'll tip this just a little bit. So as you can see in the pan, the boiling of the carrots actually changed the color. So I'm going to set that there. Tip the lid just a little bit. So let's pour it this way so you can see it better. As you can see, the water comes out colored. So it's got a colored tint to it. And ladies and gentlemen, see how it's like a broth. All the vegetables and nutrients and vitamins are right in that water. It'd be healthier for us to drink this water than to eat these carrots. So I'm going to set this over here, just out of the way. And then we're going to crack open this lid, so it does have a nice vapor seal to it. So shake this up real quick and take this and flip that over just like so. And unfortunately, I spilled some because I'm new. I'm good at spilling things because I'm new. All right, and we'll flip that over and fling it again. Now look at these colors. They're amazing. Deep oranges for the carrots. The yellow squash is bright and yellow. And the broccoli. This is amazing. The broccoli is still green. Let me see how well this tastes. And look at that. Look at these these red peppers. Look at those. And beautiful. Very delicious. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me today in my vegetable medley. And I hope to share more with you in the future, along with our kitchen craft cookware. Have a great